Hello, ladies, and welcome to this, feel like very special episode of Empowering Women with Celeste. And it's because I, in the moment, like to talk a lot about manifestation. And of course, this is manifestation for women. And there is a difference between how men manifest and how women manifest. I'm not gonna get a lot into that now, so this is just a crash course in manifestation. Very short crash course in how to manifest. So, first of all, what is manifestation? Manifestation is, at least how I like to describe it, is getting something that you want, like having an idea, a vision, and creating it, getting it. Yes? So we manifest mostly to kind of get something because there's something we really want. And usually it's a big thing, at least for me personally. I almost only use it for the big things like a lot of money or followers, more followers on my platforms or soulmate or whatever it could be. So, whatever it is that you want, big or small, doesn't matter. I'm gonna give you some of the steps here. So, the first thing is, and I want you to have something to write on, because you need to write it down. You need to be very specific. That's the first one. Be specific. Knowing exactly what you want. More time, more freedom, more money, more love, more happiness. That's not really specific. If you want more time, you need to write down what do you want, how much more time do you want, what do you want time for. If you want more money, you could give $10 more every day. Like, is that what you want? Is that enough? Probably not. So become clear about what is it actually that you want. Very specific. So it's like walking into a restaurant and you just say, "Yeah, I just want some food. I'm hungry, just give me some food." And you could end up getting literally anything. The worst I think I've heard was like a brain and testicles and things that most people don't want to eat. So first, knowing what it is you actually want, what do you like, is the first thing. If you don't know it yet, experiment. Then figure out, like, okay, I don't know what I want. How can I figure it out? If it's like a job, usually what I tell especially young people trying to figure out like what they want for a career, experiment. Like, go to some place where it could be a specific company that they really like, and say, hey, get an internship, like, or just say, hey, can I come and be work with you just for a week, just to see if this is what I want, just for free, so no obligations, no nothing. I just want to to watch and learn, if that is possible. Or just again, go out, try it out. Do I like to do these kind of temp jobs where you are there for a certain amount of time because someone is sick or whatever, and try it out, like, see if this is something you want, or talk to someone who works with what you want and say, hey, is this what is this like, what is the best things about this job, what are the worst things about this job. Experiment, try it out as far as possible. Okay, so when you go to a restaurant, just to go back to that, you go in and you say, I want this. You choose something from the menu and say, I want this. And you can say, I want my beef medium, well done, rare, whatever. Can I change the potatoes to fries, and could I get a big salad on the side or whatever? Like, if you tell people, or the waiter in this case, waitress, what you want, they can give it to you. if you don't know what you want and you say, well, I don't really know what I want, you either end up with nothing, like you don't get any food, you don't get anything to eat, or you never know what you get because they just pick something from the menu. Okay, so you want to be specific. How much money do you want? How many followers do you want? What is it that you want out of this thing? So an example I used in my book or my manual is, let's say you want a new dress. You don't have time to go shopping, but you send your boyfriend, your husband, your partner for this dress. And so if you just say, hey, honey, just could you go get me a dress? You will not know what you're gonna get back, right? You don't know what color it's gonna be. You don't know if it's gonna fit you. You can't tell. But if you give him like a list, write down, I want this color, I want this shape, I want V-neck or low neck, high neck, sleeve, no sleeve, all of these things. Again, down to the details. So your boyfriend, husband, can go down to a store manager, to someone at the desk, say, hey, I need this. And they can go find it for him. And he can come back with it too and say, that's so great, that was just what I wanted. But if you are not specific enough, you won't get it. So the universe has humor. I'm just gonna tell you that because I've tried it so many times where I got everything I wanted, but I just forgot to mention something like I got, usually I'm very good at manifesting jobs. I got the salary I wanted, I got the place, like the tasks that I wanted to do, and so on. Like I got everything I wanted, but I only got it for like a short period of time. So the raise was only through another agency. So the my salary I only got for like 1.5, 2 months. Then I got another salary because, well, I didn't say that I wanted the salary like forever. I got the salary. I just only got it for 2 months. So in that way, the universe can be the creator, God, Allah, angels, whatever you call it. They can be, they have humor. So remember to say that I want this and I want it consistent, or whatever it is. Just every loophole you can kind of think of, try to 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 embrace it. Try to be on the forehand, you know. So be specific and be very clear about what you want. Then when you have ordered whatever it is you want, you go into the web shop of, like my teachers say, creator.com. I love that term. You go to creator.com, you find exactly the thing you want because you know what you want. So you just go type in, I want this and this. You go put it in your bag or your cart, say, I want this, one of this, two of this, so on. You order it, you put in the payment, and voila. All you have to do is wait. And one thing that a lot of people kind of get trapped into is that they, in the waiting period, they wait with this desperation. They're like, oh, when is it coming? When is it gonna come? Is it gonna come? Like they don't completely trust. Is it really gonna come? When is it gonna come? Like tripping, waiting. And when you're in that energy, it's gonna take even longer for it to come. It's not gonna come until you let go of it, because like I said, they don't trust They don't fully, completely trust that it's gonna come. It's not gonna come in most cases because you're blocking yourself. You don't believe that it's gonna come, so it's not gonna come. When you buy something on a web shop from the internet, you know that it's gonna come. You just know it's gonna be here in 3 days. You're gonna get an email saying, "Hey, your package is coming to you," or it's right outside of your door. You're not sitting wondering, is it gonna come? When is it gonna come? You just know it's gonna come, and you forget about it. You put in the payment and you forget about it. And that's kind of a keyword, forgetting what you want. Because when you forget about this thing you want and keep living your life, you let go of this energy of wanting, of this energy of desperation. You know that it's gonna come, you don't know when, but you just trust that and then you forget about it. And it actually works. It does work. Right. But one thing that you should do is that you need to stay in the feelings of what it is that you want, because especially when we are talking life-changing things, not like material things, but life-changing things, like feeling like having a soulmate, or being more happy, feeling more relaxed, feeling more confident, feeling more powerful, more in control, and whatever. You have to get into that feeling on a daily basis as much as possible. You have to connect the feeling of having this. Maybe if it's traveling or financial freedom, whatever. You have to get into the emotions. You have to connect with these emotions so that you feel like you already have it. So you actually don't need this thing to come because you already have the feeling that it gives. And when you have the feeling, that's when you start attracting it. That's when this law of attraction comes into play. You attract what you are, how you're feeling, who you are. So when you are feeling free, when you're feeling happy because you now have this freedom and this abundance, that is gonna attract it. So the same thing with love. If you feel completely unlovable, not deserving of love, not worthy, not sexy, not like good enough, it's really hard to attract true love, and especially a soulmate type of relationship, because you're not at all in the vibration and the feeling of love. Again, you have to create it within yourself to attract it on the outside. Okay, so find out, how can I be in the feeling and thinking of, I already have this. The version of me who has this, like big company, or is speaking on stages, or is this millionaire. This version of me, how does she think? What does she do? What does she spend her time on? How is she feeling? How is she feeling? What is she doing? Get into detail and start to create this life that you want. Instead of waiting for it, start to already create it now. Like maybe you get up and then you train for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or you go for a run or whatever. You eat healthy food, you eat breakfast, good breakfast. Then you do the work, and you do the work without complaining. You do the work without fear. You do the work without procrastination, because it's easy for you. You know what to do. You just do it. You don't spend hours looking at the screen trying to convince yourself to push this button because you know it, you do it. of course, there are situations and things where you need to practice. Definitely, of course, you need to practice. But if you don't practice, if you don't practice the life that you want, well, it's going to be really hard to get it. Okay? So if you don't have any idea what to do, what your perfect life looks like, what it is that you really want, I have a meditation. It's called the Perfect Life Meditation. I'm gonna link it in the description so you can go into that. But really, take your time doing this. Don't just do it as a one-time thing. Actually, do something every day. Every day, connect to the vision, or tell yourself, ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really, really want? What is more important than anything else? What is more important than having the success? What is more important than having the followers? Like, what is the most important thing for me? More important than anything else. What do I really want? What do I want my life to look like? And imagine that you can have it all. That you can do anything you want. I think in this meditation, I tell you that imagine that you won the lottery, like you won 500 million in the lottery. You can do anything you want. What would you do? Like, how would you spend your money? What would you eat? What would you wear? Where would you live? Who would you spend time with? What things are you gonna do? Like, what is your hobbies? What would you do even if you weren't paid for it, if you didn't have to be paid for it? Because we all have hobbies. I don't believe anyone who says that, oh, I'm just gonna lie for the rest of my life on a beach somewhere where the sun shines. Because I don't believe that anyone can do that forever, like for their entire life. We need a purpose, like we need to do something, we need to be fulfilled in some way. So figure out what that is. Okay, so another question, or the kind of second part of this one, is what can you do today to get closer to this vision, to this manifestation, this thing that you want? What can I do today to get this, to get closer to this? And maybe you don't. Most people, I think, struggle a little bit with this, and I want to get into a more easier way, at least I think. So, which is intuition. Intuition is the key to manifestation. Because you might have a vision that is like so far out that you have no idea how to get there, or it's just seems impossible. Just remember, nothing is impossible. Okay, nothing is impossible as long as you work within the natural laws. Then nothing is impossible. Okay, but because our logical mind is trying to figure out how to get from A to B, it's gonna seem impossible because you have no idea how you're gonna get there. So when I explain intuition, I like to use the GPS system. So you know where you are. What is your life like right now? Where are you? What are you doing? How do you live? That is your starting point. Then you do the first step that we just talked about, finding out what you want and being specific. That is what you type into your GPS. So if you're not specific, and you go into your GPS and say, like you say, I want to go here, I want to go to this city. Well, if you don't type in a specific address, you don't know where you're going to end up in that city. If you're going to visit someone for a birthday or something, you need a specific address or you will not get there. The same with the restaurant order. You need to tell someone exactly what it is you want for you to get it. So, know what you want. Type in the specific address, like, I'm here, I want to go here. Okay? Let's say you got that. I'm specific, this is what I want. Again, if you type in, like, I want to go to a white beach with blue water, the GPS can't do that. Or maybe you end up somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but you have to be so specific. Okay. Intuition comes in when you're going from A to B. Imagine that when you have typed in your destination, your GPS comes up, and then there's all of these, like, then you turn left, then you turn right, then you stop and go in the roundabout, whatever. Imagine that all of these, you're going for a long trip, right? Imagine that all of these steps would come to you at once. It would say to you, first 100 meters, then you turn left. 2 kilometers, then you turn right. Follow the road into this other road, and then turn left again and turn left again. Stop. Take the highway to whatever, and then you get a long list of these things. When you have gotten all of this information, so imagine you're still sitting in your car and the GPS just gave you all of the directions. Do you remember any of them? Maybe not, maybe a few, but you do not remember all of them. I can guarantee that. Unless you have some kind of super brain. You don't remember. So our mind, when we try to manifest, wants to figure things out. It wants to know all of the steps before we take the first step. It wants to know how we get from here to there. And this is where we have to let go. We have to believe. We have to trust. Because you're not going to get all of the direction at once, because your intuition knows that you cannot remember that. You will not be able to remember. So you just have to trust that when your GPS says, go to the left, turn left here, and then go right in 200 meters. Stop and take the highway. You trust that your GPS knows that when you have typed in this destination, it's gonna take you there. You don't look at it all the time and say, are you still going there? Like, is this right? Are you sure about that? Usually not, at least. You trust that it's gonna take you there. You have to trust your intuition in the same way that it's gonna get you there, even though you don't know how, which way you're gonna turn, where you're gonna go, what you're gonna do. You don't know yet, but you just trust that it's gonna take you there. And it will, when you keep this vision and you connect with this vision every day. The problem here is just that, first of all, a lot of people don't know how to use the intuition. Number one problem, I'll cover that in another episode, because it would take hours if I have to do that now. But number one is knowing how to listen to your intuition, knowing what is your intuition, and kind of differentiate that from your thoughts, your mind, and then your intuition, because they tend to collide sometimes and intertwine and take over, and then you think something is intuition, but it actually isn't. And yeah, but that's a longer story. So trusting, but when you got that, then the second one is, well, first one, knowing what your intuition is, what it's saying, and second of all, trusting it, and then thirdly, do it, do the action. If your intuition tells you to call someone, well, it's not going to work if you don't call them, or if they tell you to text someone, or they tell you to buy this course or watch this video or read this book. If you don't do it, it's like skipping a step on the GPS. The smart thing about the GPS is that if you make a wrong turn, because we sometimes do that, it will keep leading you back to your on your way, on the directions to the destination. Your intuition works the same way, so you have to do the actions, but if you miss an action step, your intuition is just gonna keep giving you the information, like you have to do this, you have to do this. And if you make a wrong turn, it will direct you back. So don't worry too much about making a mistake and feel like you didn't listen to your intuition, because it's gonna come back. It's gonna keep directing you on the path. Okay, I hope you get this idea of GPS, and I've covered some of the basic steps. And now I think we're actually gonna go to part 2. So let's see if I can get there. Here it is. Okay. So we've been through the practical steps. Being specific on what you want, listening to your intuition, doing the action. Then remember that you have to connect and visualize every day. Connect to the vision that you have. Visualize putting yourself in the situation where you have this thing. Imagine that you are standing on the stage, or imagine that you are living in this house, you are living in this place, you're in this country, you are doing this thing, and really make it as real as you possibly can. Okay, so here there might come you might feel some fear, or you might feel some resistance. Write it down, take a look at it, because as long as you have any type of resistance, any beliefs, any blocks about having this, well, again, it's going to be hard for you to get it, because if you believe that, well, actually I cannot do that, well, you're never going to be able to do it, no matter how much you connect with it and how much you visualize it. So you have to release the blocks as well, and that means becoming aware of the blocks first of all. So when you're connecting and visualizing, be curious about what comes up. If you imagine standing on a stage with 10,000 people watching you, are you gonna feel like a little nervous? Just a little bit? Or maybe you feel like, oh, well, what are they gonna think about what I say? Am I good enough? Like, is that true? Do you feel any kind of tension or anything uncomfortable in this situation? Write it down, release it. Because if there's a block in your energy field, and that could be thoughts and feelings, beliefs, programs, then there's not going to be an open pathway for money or success or all of these material things that you want, they're not going to be able to come in. Okay. Then the second thing is patience. Some things just takes more time. It takes 9 months to make a baby, at least a fully, completely full-grown, ready baby. You cannot make a baby in 3 months. It's not gonna work. If it takes too long, the woman's body is gonna explode. So like divine timing, I'm not gonna get too much into that, but divine timing is a thing as well. It also has something to say. But just be patient, because some things take time. This is one of the things I'm working really hard on, being patient, because I'm not in many areas, but I've had so many, and probably you too, like so many blocks, so many beliefs, so many things to clear to be able to take these things, to receive these things that we want, to be able to receive them. So many things we have to learn to be able to receive them. So again, patience, things take time. And then letting go. Remember that I talked about, I said forget it. Forget what it is that you want. You place the order, then forget about it. This is what letting go means, surrendering. Surrender to trust, to that the universe is going to give this to you. You don't, well, yes, you have to take action, you have to do some things, but don't know that you don't have to do it all alone and all by yourself. Surrender to your intuition, to listening, that if your intuition is telling you it's coming, okay, now you can let go. There's no more you have to do. Do it, and don't keep hustling and think, well, I can't just stop. I can't just do nothing. But if your intuition is telling you to do it, you have to do it. And usually not until we surrender completely to what we're being told, that not until then we will get it. So surrender. I'll probably also explain that deeper in another video. And okay, then like I said, trust. You have to trust that it's coming. Like I said, when you order something on the web, on the internet, well, depending on the web shop, how qualified it looks, you're not sitting and wondering, oh, when is it gonna come? Is it gonna come? Like, are they cheating me? Because it is coming, and usually it will come. You just know that. Usually when I buy something, I'm excited, yes, and I think, yeah, I can't wait until it comes, but then I completely forget about it. So when it actually comes, it's like Christmas. It's like getting a birthday gift, because I completely forgot that it was coming. And then it just like, then it's a little celebration. Okay, so that, the last thing I want to share is know that everything is okay. Everything is always okay. You always get what you need, and you'll get what you need when you need it. You'll know what you need to know when you need to know it. Trust that. Everything is okay, no matter what is going on. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up and say thank you so much for listening. If you are still listening, this is what I have learned from some of the best teachers in manifestation. So take take it and use it, and you can create results. You can create miracles, as I like to say. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe if you want to hear more, comment with what was your aha moment, like what did you get out of this, share with someone you feel like could use this, could benefit from this, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and bye bye.